Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi and I'm so happy that you're here. Today I'm gonna do just a quick get ready with me. I'm gonna get ready for the day. It has been a very long time since I've posted. My life has completely changed in the last couple of months, which is the reason why I have been away. And I'm going to just kind of talk you through my life. I'm gonna start off with I think it's in Beauty Project. This is the Mineral Sun Glow, a broad spectrum SPF 43. I'm just gonna use this to give my face a little bit of a glow, and then I'm gonna use the Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I'm just gonna mix both of these two together. I really like this for a glow, and it has the SPF, which is nice. It doesn't smell like SPF, which is what I really wanted. I hate the smell of sunscreen, so that's great. Yeah, it's been a while since I've posted. I have not been around. My life has made just a complete, I don't know if it's like 180. My life is just very different from the last time I posted. I'll start off by saying a couple of things in regards to my teeth. My teeth are finally done. I've posted that for a while, that I've kind of been going through quite a bit with my dental journey, basically. And thank God all of that is done. The Invisalign is finally done. I have the crowns. This is my teeth now. I'm so happy it's completed. That was such a long journey on its own. And I talked about that extensively on my channel too, with everything that was going on. But I'm happy to report that is completely done with. Another thing that has completely changed in my life is I have changed jobs. I have also talked about that on my channel a few times in regards to wanting, kind of in a transition of like what it is that I wanted to do with work. Like I wasn't necessarily happy at the company that I was with. I do work in a corporate office. My regular job is a corporate job. And I had been at this particular company for 10 years. And I truly thought I was going to basically end up retiring with this company. That was always my intention. I always wanted to do that. I've been there for so long, so that's where I felt like it was going. However, with time and just a lot of changes that they were implementing in the company, I just decided to basically leave. I do have another job. It is another corporate job. It's within the same industry, very similar to what it is that I was doing before. But one of the things I wanted to talk about when it comes to my change is, and let me know if you guys have experienced any of this, or if you just like what your experience is in general. So one of the things I'm noticing, and again, I only have this company to go off of because I was there for so long. But one of the things I'm noticing, especially in corporate world, is the environment has just become so toxic. And I don't ever really even use that term for anything, but it has just become such a toxic environment. Management is just so oblivious to what it is that goes on in the office, and it's such a shame, especially if you have management who are not qualified to be in those positions. I'm going to go in with some concealer. I'm just going to do a very quick, very, very light layer of the Kosas. I have the shade 06. I think this is the Kosas Ruby Lure shade 06. One of the things I've noticed when it comes to management or upper management is just that they're just oblivious. They're oblivious of what it is that is going on within the company. And these are people who are supposed to run the company, making it easier for the CEO, whatever. The reason why I ended up leaving is because I felt so appreciative? No, they didn't appreciate me. That's what it is. They did not appreciate me whatsoever at that company. I made the CEO of that company so much money, and every time I asked for anything there, it was like pulling teeth. I was not treated fairly. So I basically decided one day that they were just implementing so many changes, and I don't want to go into too specific just because I'm done, I've moved on. But the reason I'm sharing this is because I really feel like people have just lost the ability to be kind. And I don't understand what is going on in the world. For my brows, I'm going to use the Benefit Brow Precisely My Brow Wax. And I use the shade 03. I was the right hand to the CEO when it came to his book of business. I basically controlled, or not controlled, but I managed the whole book. It was a very big book, a book that I helped him grow within the 10 years that I was there. I literally gave this guy everything. He just never appreciated any of it. He would just nickel and dime me for every single thing. And mind you, like whatever it was that I had asked for was pennies. It was pennies for him. And I know that because I saw the numbers. I'm gonna do just a very simple eye. I'm gonna use Makeup by Mario. This is the Ethereal Eyes palette. I'm just gonna do a very simple eye using this palette today. It got to the point where I just started kind of noticing that I was being treated differently from other agents in the office. And it wasn't because they were singling me out. It was more so because all of the other agents in the office were paid $10.99. They were basically like, well, I don't even know if they were paid $10.99, but they worked off commission. I, on the other hand, had a hourly and I had a commission structure as well. Because I was going through all of my dental stuff, I was missing work quite a bit. However, even though I wasn't physically in the office, and that was another thing too, they were just so, well, I'll get to that. Because I was going through all of my dental stuff, I was missing being physically in the office most of the time, not most of the time, but a couple of times, because I had to get I had to do my appointments. I had dental surgeries, a couple of them, multiple checkups, because what I had was not a small thing. It was a very big project. We'll say that. With my boss, I just kind of brought that up because they were calling me in to discuss my hours. And I pretty much got tired of it because I was the only agent they were doing that with. All of the other senior agents, they can come and go as they please. Some of them weren't even in the office for like 3 or 4 months at a time. And when I brought that up and I said, you know what, this isn't fair, because even though I'm not physically here in the office, I'm still working. You know, my phone is still going off. I'm still answering emails. I'm still answering your phone calls. I'm not getting paid for them. I'm not reporting the hours, because when I do report them, I'm being told, well, why aren't you here? I ended up basically bringing that up and telling him, like, you know, you keep saying it needs to be fair. It needs to be fair. Well, let's make that fair. So his version of fair was to put me on a salary, which sounds great. However, he took away $5,000 of what my hourly would have amounted to. At that point, I was pretty much just kind of over the company and the way that they were running everything, because it was just not being ran properly. And I had been complaining about it for years at that point, to be honest. So I just decided, you know what, I gotta go. It's time for me to get out of here. So I ended up looking for another job. I ended up finding one. Before that, then I had my review a couple of months later, and my raise that I got at my review was the $5,000 that he took away. Now, mind you, I am making this guy a shit ton of money. So much money. The $5,000 that he took away was like a flight for him, or a dinner for him. Like, it was nothing. I just basically decided I was gonna leave. I'm like, I'm not gonna be here anymore. I'm not appreciated here. These people like do not treat me fairly. They do not care. And I'm gonna do my eyelashes really quick. I can't talk when I do mascara. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Exagger Eyes Volume Mascara. This is just like a little sample of it. And I really like this. I actually want to buy the bigger size, but I have so many mascaras I need to go through first. But this is really good. If you have it, or if you've been wanting to try it, I do recommend it. Okay, mascara is on. I just can't talk as I'm doing mascara. So as I was saying, I had basically just, at that point, I was like, I need to get out of here. I need to leave this place. Like, this place does not appreciate me. They don't care at all about like the way they treat their employees. Like, and it was just getting worse. Every single week, month, it was just getting worse and worse and worse. So at that point, I was just like, you know what, I'm out. And then on top of that too, one of the biggest things now, I am very much an introvert. I don't like to be the center of attention. If I can be invisible, like, that's my goal. Like, I'm just not good with people in that way, but I'm actually really working on that right now. I do want to change that about myself. Anyway, that was just like a little side note. But one of the things too that really like just kind of pushed it for me was I never got any recognition at this company. Like I think I got Employee of the Month once, maybe once or twice. It was, and the thing that was frustrating was that it's not that I even needed that, but it's like I never even got a thank you. Like and the reason I'm saying that is because like, I know you're probably thinking like, oh, like you probably weren't really good at your job or something. No, that's not true at all. Like I know every single year, the revenue I brought into the company increased by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Every single year, the revenue went up in my book. My retention with my clients was 98%. My reviews every single year were outstanding. Like that's how they were marking me, outstanding every single year. I never had issues with anybody in management. I was never called in, for meetings. I never had write-ups, like nothing. But I was never acknowledged and never recognized. And here's the thing. It's not like they didn't know what it was that I was bringing in, because my boss, the CEO of the company, I would meet with him every month to go over the book, to tell him where things were, whatever I needed assistance with. And he was the one who approved my commission every single month. Every single month, I had to send it directly to him to get it approved. So he knew every month what it was that I was bringing in. And I never got any recognition. And it got to the point where I was just like, I'm over this. I'm tired of fighting to be heard from a company that, I'm going to use Give by Gwen Stefani. This is the bronzer duo. I love this. The formula I don't really see a lot of people talk about this, but the formula of her bronzer is really good. Both of them, the powder and the cream. The move that I made was based more on a career move. So I'm really happy with my decision. I do not regret it. But I will say this. When I left my company that I was with for 10 years, it was a lot harder than I actually thought it was going to be. And it was more of getting all of like their ways, and not even just their ways, but like their words, like all of those things. It was really hard to get that out of my system, if that makes any sense. I cried a lot after I left that company. It really honestly felt like a breakup, which is really weird to say, but it really did feel that way. It really felt like a breakup. And the reason I'm talking about all of it is because I found it to be so difficult to leave a toxic environment that I was in for so long. And after I've left, and not that the transition has been easy, because it has not. It has not been easy at all in the slightest. Like I said, I've cried a lot over my decision. And I left about 2 months ago. So it's been 2 months and I'm still working through it. Like I truthfully am. I'm still working my way through trying to like navigate this new routine, this new life. Like 10 years is a lot to unlearn. I think that's all I'm gonna do for my face. To be honest, I really just want to do something very simple and leave. I am gonna do a little bit of eyeliner just to kind of make my eyes brighten up a little bit, and I want to recurl my lashes. But I'm gonna do the eyeliner of, what is this one? This is Tarte, I think. Tarte Fake Awake. This is really good if you just want like a nice, like bright eyeliner. I really like this. Set my face real quick. This is by D'Alba, I think is what it's called. This is the First Spray Serum. I'm gonna stick to the little glowy theme I wanted. You know what is one thing I've been doing lately, and I've noticed I really like it? I haven't been setting my face. Once I put on the foundation and the concealer, the only thing I set is my concealer. I actually have not been setting my face lately, and I really like it because I was noticing before that it was, for some reason, my face was just looking so cakey, but my skin is really dry in general, and no matter like how much hydration I put on, after a couple of hours, my face just started getting really cakey, or it just looked even more dry. And since I've stopped doing that, my face looks fresh all day. So I don't know, something new. I'm just gonna continue doing that, and I'm not buying any face powders. I'm not even using the ones I have because I've just really been liking the way it looks without it. Even though it's been very difficult and it's all new, and I don't like new, I don't like change, I'm honestly really happy. I don't regret it at all. I have a company that gives me so much room to actually like live life, and they don't need me in the office all the time. I'm just not like worked to the ground. And so if you're struggling in something like that, I just want you to know that like it's going to be okay. I don't even know like what to say. It's just, it was such a big transition for me, and it still is. I'm still working through it, like I've said, but I'm really happy that I did it. And if you are in a situation where you feel underappreciated, you feel like you don't get any acknowledgement, I want you to know that it's okay to jump. It is okay to just take the leap and honestly gamble on yourself. The way that what helped me, one of the things that was helping me was I was looking at my life from like a 15 to 20 year standpoint. I had already given this company 10 years. Could I give them an additional 10, 15 years of doing the same thing and not getting any acknowledgement, any appreciation, getting nickel and dimed when I knew that I was making them so much? And just knowing that there was no growth either, like there was nowhere else for me to grow from that position. I just couldn't do it personally. I was like, no, I need a company that allows me to grow within the company and to just continue to grow myself as a person, and so much more opportunity. And I want you to know that that job is out there. I know that it's really scary, trust me, but it'll be okay. And it's okay to take a gamble on yourself, because honestly, only you will. I'm gonna do the MAC. This is the Sweet Treat Glow Play. It's kind of just like a lip balm, basically. I'm gonna use this today. It's literally just a lip balm. It doesn't have like much color. It's just a very like nudie color. And that is my whole face today. Very simple, very quick. Want to go out, get some errands done. Got to get my nails done today. So wanted to just kind of get ready for the day and get out of here. But I really wanted to hop back on because I feel like I'm finally back in a groove. I also just got really sick. I don't know if you can hear, I'm still very congested. I got very sick this past week, and I'm finally getting over it. But it took me a minute. It just took me a minute to get, you know, accustomed to the new reality of everything, of my new life. I wanted to share this too because I know I'm not the only person who struggles with, you know, being in a company for a long time that just doesn't feel like you are being taken care of. And I just wanted you to know that like you can take a chance on yourself. You can, and I think you should. And I think that it's never too late. So don't think that it is, because it's not. And I just hope that, you know, if you are in a toxic work environment, that you come to the realization that you are worth so much more. So I wanted to just say that to you if that is something you're going through right now. Anyway, that is the whole look for today. Very quick, very simple. Getting ready to get out the door. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks.